Yeah, manners, manners. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I really would like to have an interesting conversation with Idem. You see me? Yeah. I mean no offense by anything I'm about to say, as I am a product of the culture within which um I I lived in Jamaica. I really I'm a product of the I am the stereotypical Jamaican child, born out of wedlock. Seeing two young parents, extremely young parents, seeing which was typical for our parents to get pregnant very early. And we're going to talk about stuff like that. We're going to talk about the culture. We're going to talk about the single parent culture in Jamaica. Now, again, let me reiterate. I honestly don't mean any disrespect, any shade. Is it because we all know most of us are were either born into a single parent household, or we are single parents ourselves. Is it me? When I say single parent, I mean your parents are for married. Your parents are for married because again, that's marriage is really a concept. Your parents get married in a Jamaica. Like being married doesn't make you any more committed, especially when you look upon it from a Jamaican perspective. An African American or an American person may look at it differently, but even common law marriages are recognized in Jamaica. So when I'm referring to single parent household, I'm talking about literally a single parent household. The parents don't live together. They're not together. They may be co-parenting, and sometimes they do it to the best of their abilities, but it's still a single parent household. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about that, the culture in Jamaica, how normal it is. It is, and I didn't. I knew how it was. So it is weird how your environment completely shapes the way you view things. It's crazy because when I lived in Jamaica, it was not a thing. Yeah, it never mattered. Yeah, maybe because I wasn't old enough for it to really matter to me. But Jamaica has a single parent culture. Let's be honest. Like it is so normal. It is extremely normal. It is almost like it's taboo when your parents are together. I swear. It is taboo when your parents are together. I swear to you. You see me? So let's have a conversation about single parent culture in Jamaica. So just to kind of oh just to kind of let me to stress to go further, let me give you my backstory. So as I said, my parents, my mother was 19, my father was 20. As a matter of fact, my mother was 18. If my memory serves me correctly, 18? 18. But basically, she had me 9 days, 11 days before her either 19th or, yeah, I think she had me 11 days before her 19th birthday. So my mother the young. See me? My father was about 20, 19, 20. Young people, them. Of course, they were not married. Of course, they were poor, just like everybody else. Young couple meet each other. Father sharp, the general. My father, me I talk about, but the general them time they young and fresh. Yeah, my mother, if you know my mother, is very, very beautiful woman. You see me? Very pretty lady. You see me? So my father say her and her, the thing go. And they were doing their thing recklessly. See? And I was the first result of that. No, I'm not going too much into the details and give up my local family history, but just know say I too was I'm gonna put this because my story this I'm really supposed to care, right? When nobody else want to think. My story. But my parents weren't together. You see me? And again, not to blame my mother. I guess she in her mind decided to she was I guess she wanted to she was looking out for me, I guess, in the best interest of me. So I mean I'll get too much of the story, but just know say I was a jacket at some point. Let me just never pretend me thing. I was a jacket. So when I tell you say I was the stereotypical youth, Zane about the man named Ray, I swear. And my father still you're the general and him find out and know man do the right thing. You see me? I forgot a court to change my name and somebody. You can imagine. You see me? But yeah, so literally when I say this, I mean no offense to nobody because we've all been there. I'm not trying to, that's why I'm taking this amount of time to preface what I'm about to say. So single parent culture in a Jamaica. Let's talk about it. Which generation it start from? Because from a barn, it's almost like it was pumped into my mind as a little youth. One burner thing you don't work. The one burner thing don't work, my general. You see me? Man, if you have enough girl and girl in a bungle. You know. So things like that really perpetuate, really start the single parent culture, Because that's where men start becoming irresponsible with themselves, with them sperms. And I'm not here bashing men for having multiple women, because if I be honest with you, I feel like if a man can afford it and a man will have more than one wife, a man have more than one woman, do your thing, my general. You see me? But it has to be done in a way where the children are never affected. And there's a culture in Jamaica that praises, that worships a man who has multiple children, who has children with multiple women. There's a culture in Jamaica that praises that. How much you have? The man them say, yo, oh, your family, how much you have? And usually there's an underlying inference in that, like how much girl breed. Really. It's not even like it's more about the amount of youth you have, how much girl breed, as opposed to the quality of the youth that you're trying to raise, you're trying to bring into this world. And that's a big part of the culture. And when I deny the culture, again, I'm not even here criticizing the culture. I'm just saying the culture for what it is. And only can have the conversation. You see me? Now, we look on the man them side and we see where the men have been irresponsible. You know the thing go, and again, in society, man exploit woman, tell woman what they want to hear, woman believe. Go, just that happens everywhere. Jamaica, America, China, everywhere. That's just a man-woman dynamic, But let's talk about the women. Now, before we go into the woman part, because I really want this is really weird to me. I want to highlight, if you're not already aware, right? Jamaica, on paper, theoretically, Jamaica is probably one of the most religious countries you'll ever go to. And I mean that. And I know we're not known for it. We're not known for being a religious country in the sense that Jamaica actually is. We're known for Rastafari as a religion. But even that is more, I don't think the rest of the world really see Rastafari as a religion. They kind of see it as just a way of life, and Bob Marley and weed, and you know what I mean? But the religion that I'm referring to that Jamaica is known for, Jamaica is an extremely Christian country. Like, they still recognize Christian holidays. You know what I mean? It is very much still a Christian country. Children still have to pray at school. I had to do it. Very, very Christian country. Jamaica is so Christian that even in dance hall that is so raunchy and not the most appropriate place for you to introduce dancehall to anything, real Christians to anything. But even within dancehall, there's like a Christian, like a look a subgenre of music of old Christian music that were converted into dancehall music that are still. I don't know. It is so weird the interwoven of dancehall and Christianity. But Jamaica is an extremely Christian country. Isn't it ironic how Christian we are, but how unchristian like the culture is? Like, I think Jamaica has more churches per square mile than any other country in the world, or if not any other country, but one of the countries in the world that has the most churches per square mile. That's how Christian Jamaica is. That's how religious Jamaica is. But for some reason, Jamaicans choose to live by the Bible and the Christian values when it suits them. If may I be honest with you, I mean this when I say Jamaicans. I can't speak for anybody else. I don't know about another culture, right? Not half of Jamaicans, my experience. Them Christians so till and them post. You ever go on your WhatsApp it? I see the woman them who shack up, or I say shack up with man where have 4, 5, 6 different men. You know, one man a pay bills, one man a do this, one man a do this, and at them post the most Jesus thing. Pay by every morning they wake up, Bible scripture, Bible scripture, Bible scripture. But the lifestyle does not coincide with what they're preaching, and that is so prevalent in Jamaica. And that comes down to the baby mother thing. For such a Christian country, Jamaica is supposed to have so much single parents household. And that's the point I get at. You see me? We should not. Women, we have to hold them accountable. Because I see it's a cultural thing, you know. We see what mother do it, we see what father do it, and it's just become normal. And everybody else around me do it. So it's like, of course, this is normal. It's normal. I almost say normal, I mean, and again, I reiterate, we don't even have to get married, dog. Big man thing, we don't have to get married. You understand what I say? I don't say marriage, I talk about just having a household where father in the house, mother in the house, pitting in the house. Both of us are instilling our values, our beliefs we're pumping it into this child. Child has support from mommy, child has support from daddy. Seeing mommy kiss her when she drop her and get cut and daddy might have a rough her up sometime and make sure understand the reality of life. Because as fathers, we can't just, they are cuddle, make the mother them cuddle. Our jobs is to prepare these kids for the real life. Make mommy call her princess, and she a princess. But so when they left us at this house, nobody not think you're a princess, be. That's our job as fathers. You're my princess and you'll always be my princess. But the man down the road will never see you as a princess. You're just a little girl. You understand what I say? And we have to remind them and stuff like that. So I can't speak to statistics, but I think there is some research that was done, and apparently the more successful a child becomes, the more likely it was that the child was grown or, grew up in a dual parents household. Mother and father. I didn't have nothing to do with when they're married. You see me? But apparently there's something with both parents, and it makes sense because now that I'm married and I live with my wife and my daughter, I don't sometimes you see it, like sometimes you're in a spot and you're so happy that I'm so happy that my wife is here to handle it. Because if it was just me, I don't know what I do. Some things mothers are just better at. And then there are other things where my wife's like, babe, I would be freaking out. if it was if I never there. You know what I mean? So because me just know how to react. I genuinely believe that parents, like children, are way better off when the mother and the father in the household. You see me? No, for finish up the story, my parents actually reconciled, and thing, and actually got married and tried to do the marriage thing. No, it never worked. No, go like it never worked. But I experienced marriage life a little bit, you know what I mean? But at an early age, I realized, say, yo, all I'm bridging them, like literally, probably one away. They did have him mother and him father live together. Like it was so weird. And we realized, say, yo, we did have trauma from things we witness appearance them go through. We hear our mother say about our father, we hear our father say about our mother. But we not talk about it, because they just talk to your bridging about that. Oh, bro, so me hear some my father, me hear my mother say my father, this and you understand what I mean? Because the parents, you know it go. We know it go. So, but I sincerely believe a child is better off with both parents in the household. It makes them more rounded. And then they're watching you guys, they're watching mommy and daddy interact. And they absorb it, and they try to emulate it. You know what I mean? Because that's just what kids do. The same way them watch with our phone, them watch you with iPad, them watch you do everything, and them learn from that. Sometimes you ever see a picture do something, you're like, yo, how did you learn that? The only way you could have learned that was by watching me. These kids are studying us to the T. Like literally. The other day we were going out, and my daughter, she go downstairs and she bring my wallet. I have two wedding rings I'm wearing. I have a black one and a silver one. And she get my car key, she get my wallet, she get the car key, the wallet. She got something else, car key, wallet, something else, and she brought the two rings. And she's like, "Daddy, which one are you wearing today?" I never even realized at that time that prelim look at thing there. They might watch me so much. You know what I mean? So single parent culture in Jamaica. Now I must be honest, big up to my generation, and maybe it's social media. Maybe it's social media, but I don't think it is. You even see it in dancehall, more dancehall artists claiming them women publicly. This is something that never really happened when I was growing up. See? I almost say claim her, I mean really claim her like this, I'm my wife. I mean, I got disrespect her. Yeah, this is a cartel. They show up shorty, but I wouldn't say cartel, they really respect shorty in the public. Consider him and get married too much time to girl, and have a show with woman I love him. But you can see the man them, the Romeo and Virgo them, you know what I mean? Even I doing it himself. You see me? And I doing I was one of them rough artists there. We never expect it, but we have to big them up. Because you see artists like that, I come out and I set example for the youth them for say, dog, brother, you can still have your wifey. Do your thing, really, whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, your youth, if you decide to have a youth, because nothing, Jamaican man, love a youth. We love a youth. If you reach the age of Jamaica, you have a youth man start questioning the youth. So you have to make sure that the same youth the way you love grew up as a mommy and daddy. And again, I'm not force the man for putting a ring on nobody's finger. But you have a responsibility to your youth to ensure that him have the best conditions. He's raised under the best conditions. So nobody come tell me, oh, yeah, your baby mother and I get along, then you breed her for. Is either you never get along for a man and you still breed her, you're a mistake. Or you never take enough time to get to know her, so by the time you breed her and by the time you realize that a girl, you and a girl are compatible, you should done breed already. Your fault. One night stand, all right, just have a little fun, right? No protection. Your fault. You see me? So, make a level out the thing. My generation, big up to them. I see a change. I see a lot more far. And again, I don't know if it's social media just to promote it, but I think I see a lot of fathers in my age, you them in my age, mid to late 30s, even early 40s too. Being the fathers that those examples like constantly. No, I had a great father. My name not gonna lie, I had the example. And him one of the reasons who I am today. He's one of the reasons I am who I am today. I had that example. However, I was still a single parent household for me after my parents got divorced. Parents marriage lasts for 8-9 years. So by the time I look at it before me even reach teenage years, marriage mash up. So for the rest, and I guess you could call those the formative years, right? It was a single parent household for me. And then maybe that's another dynamic. Is it better to be raised in a single parent household that where you don't know nothing else, so you kind of just have to cope and deal with it? Or is it better to experience it somewhat, then lose it? Is it worth? You understand? Like that's another debate we can have. You know, that's a when you think about it, maybe is it what is better? Is it better to just not have experienced that any at all? Because now the pain and the realignment of your entire life has to start. And you're going to have to endure that. Even though you'll grow from it, you'll develop strength from it. Is that something that's necessary to go through, especially as a preteen? Or would it have been better if I just not had one of my parents and I would have had to cope anyway? You know what I mean? Interesting dynamic to consider. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up the video. Single parent culture in Jamaica. Again, me now not nobody. Everybody for do them thing. But I think we need to make more responsible choices before, and that's the next thing. But no, I'm gonna leave that for next time. I think we need to make more responsible choices as yard people to ensure that the next generation, the little one them will forward up. Our little one them, right? And even the one them will come up after that when we become grandparents. I think we have to ensure that their lives. And my father used to always say this. My job is to ensure that I live a better life than me. I may not be rich, but if I always say it, and he did. He did. But if you can give your child a better life than what you had, and not just financially, just emotionally, it's a more full life. Most of we grew up with a single parent households in Jamaica. If you're Jamaican, there's a very high chance that you grew up in a single parent household. Zane? So if we can try to be more responsible in our choices and ensure that whoever we choose to parent a child with is a good fit, is aligned with values. And that's another thing. People I've breed people with them, they have to share the same values with. So when in vex, girl have my pitney run, man. Girl have man over the yard and body get vexed. The girl, don't bring a girl around no girl around my pitney. Like, is it about the pitney? You know what I mean? People just put them feelings over the pitney. So again, usually when the mother and the father break up, it's normally nice, and the pitney 9 times out of 10 gets affected. Even when they don't think the pitney gets affected, they get affected. You see me? I'm not say the thing have to be perfect, but let's be more responsible. You see me? In who we choose to parent kids with. So let's try to end that part of the culture. Our culture is so attractive to people. I think that's something we can do better at. And as I say, I'm seeing improvements there. My generation is representing not bad, not badly, Zane, but there's still huge rooms for improvement. So I'm gonna end it right there. So don't forget for like, share, subscribe. Big up yourself. This is Simba. Manners and respect. Grown up talk. Big up.